Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the Accenture preparation series. In that, we first start with the logical reasoning, especially of critical reasoning and problem solving. So, the first topic which we will discuss today is of blood relation. While solving the problems related to blood relation, we have to keep some points in our mind so that we can solve the blood relation problems easily. To make this topic easier, I have divided this topic into the three parts to know it betterly. The first one is of basic terms, then the second one is of representation, and the third one is of questions. So let's first discuss the basic terms in the blood relation. The first term is of spouse. The meaning of spouse is husband or wife. Then the niece. Niece is brother's or sister's daughter. Then the third one is of nephew. Brother's or sister's son called as nephew. Then mother's or father's brother called as uncle. Then mother's or father's sister called as aunt. Then son's wife called as daughter-in-law. Daughter's husband called as son-in-law. Then husband or wife's brother called as brother-in-law. Husband's or wife's sister called as sister-in-law. Husband's or wife's father called as father-in-law. And husband's or wife's mother called as mother-in-law. These are some of the terms which are required while solving the questions and representing that question, whatever the information given in the question. Okay, so then let's discuss the second part, which is of representation. I have divided the representation of question is into the three parts. The first one is of representation of generations, then representation of gender, then the third one is of representation of siblings and spouses. So let's first discuss why we want to do the representation. So while solving the blood relation question, when we represent the relationship between the father or son, so that we can solve that question easily. So that's why we are representing the questions information. So let's discuss the representation one by one. The first one is of representation of generation. So same generation we can represent horizontally, and when different generations are there, we can represent it as vertically. So what is the same generation? Brother and brother are same generation, then brother and sister are of same generation, right? Then while talking about the different generation, then father and son are of different generation, then mother and daughter, mother and son are of different generation, so we can represent it as vertically. Okay, then let's discuss the second point, representation of gender. We can represent the male as of plus sign and female as of minus sign. These are just a representation sign. You can use another sign also. Here we are using male as a plus sign and female as a minus sign. Then let's discuss the third term, representation of siblings and spouses. So we represent the siblings as a comma sign and spouses as a double arrow sign. So we have already seen what is the meaning of spouses. Spouses mean husband or wife, and we represent the relationship between spouses by double arrow sign, okay, and siblings by comma sign. While solving the question, you have to remember these three terms of representation. So now let's discuss the question part. So while solving the question, you can get clarity about how to represent the relationship, whatever the information given in the question. Okay, so we have one first question, which is of Sahil said, this girl is the wife of grandson of my mother. So who is the Sahil to the girl? Now let's start representing the information whatever given in the question. We have already first know that Sahil said Sahil is there. Okay, so first represent the Sahil. Sahil, yes, and the plus sign. Plus sign is for male. Okay, then move towards the statement whatever the Sahil said. This girl is the wife of grandson of my mother. Grandson of my mother. Okay. So while solving or while representing this information, you have to keep in mind that you have to start representing from the last of the whatever the statement is there. You have to start representing from the last of that statement. So here we have information about my mother. So Sahil's mother. Yes, we can get that information, Sahil's mother. So start representing it as. mother, and Sahil is of different generation, so vertically represent the mother. We don't know the name of the mother, right? So write the question mark, and we have the gender of that mother. Then write the minus sign over there. Okay, so now move forward. Grandson of my mother, it means Sahil's mother's grandson. Okay, so who is the Sahil's mother's grandson? Sahil's son, right? You are to see the whatever the relationship are there, so represent that Sahil's son, and write the question mark there because we don't know the name, and plus sign because it's an male. Then wife of grandson. Okay, then represent the wife. We have already seen the spouse's relationship. We can represent by using double arrow. So represent it as a double arrow and question mark because we don't know the name of that grandson's wife, and a minus sign. Okay, so we can see that we have represented all the statement which is given in the question. This girl is the wife of grandson of my mother. We have already represented all the information. Now let's move forward to the question. Who is the Sahil to the girl? So we have to find the relationship between the Sahil and the girl. So what is the relationship between that girl and Sahil? So Sahil is that girl's husband's father. So we have already seen what we can say to husband's father. We can say him as a father-in-law. So we have found the answer as father-in-law. Sahil is father-in-law to the girl. In this simple way, you can solve the questions of blood relation easily. When you practice the lot of the questions, then you can get clarity about, you can get the information whatever given in the questions. You can represent it as so much fastly when you practice lot of questions like this. So see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, and be happy.